Charlamagne Tha God, the voice of the Breakfast Club, a man who built his career on saying what others are too afraid to say. He's known for asking the hard questions, calling out nonsense, and handing out his infamous donkey of the day. But let's be honest, that kind of energy doesn't always go unanswered. Because every now and then, the people he goes after, they fire right back. And when they do, it's not just awkward, it's legendary. From calm OG lessons to fiery live callouts, these are the times rappers didn't just take the disrespect, they checked Charlamagne right back. Let's get into it. Before the viral clips and chaos, there was a moment that reminded everyone what real respect looks like. Back in 2013, Charlamagne made a crude, disrespectful comment about female rapper Mercedes, someone signed under Master P's No Limit label. It was supposed to be a joke, but Master P didn't find it funny. When he later appeared on The Breakfast Club, he didn't show up angry. He came calm, collected, and carrying wisdom. Looking Charlamagne right in the eye, Master P told him that kind of talk was devilish, and that no real man would speak about a woman like that, especially someone's sister or mother. It wasn't a screaming match. It was an education. In that studio, the power dynamic flipped. Charlamagne, usually the one pressing others, sat back, realizing he'd crossed a line. Master P's message landed hard. You don't have to raise your voice to make a man rethink his words. And sure enough, Charlamagne publicly apologized. The moment became a reminder. Disrespect might sell, but integrity still commands the room. But not everyone handled it that calmly. The next one took his check to a whole other level, in front of thousands of fans. If there's one artist who doesn't believe in keeping quiet, it's Kanye West. During his 2016 St. Pablo tour, Kanye decided he had some unfinished business with Charlamagne. Right in the middle of a massive concert, lights flashing, fans screaming, he went off script and turned his frustration into a live monologue. He mocked Charlamagne's Donkey of the Day segment, questioning his entire career. Then he dropped the now legendary line, "I'm a #1 most influential person in music, in fashion, in culture. Charlamagne, you ain't got the answers, man." The crowd erupted. This wasn't just a diss. It was a full-blown humiliation broadcast to a stadium full of people. Kanye wasn't just defending himself. He was questioning why someone who builds a brand off criticizing others should get a free pass. And honestly, that moment stuck. Charlamagne took the hit publicly, and the internet ran wild with it. But while Kanye made it loud and global, the next check was quiet and deadly serious. Some moments don't need many words, just action. When Charlamagne made a disrespectful tweet about Lauren London, who was dating Nipsey Hussle at the time, he probably didn't expect the kind of response he got. Nipsey wasn't the type to go back and forth online. He didn't write an essay or start a feud. He simply replied, "You gonna have to see me in ******." That was it. One sentence, and the internet froze. Charlamagne deleted his tweet immediately and issued a public apology. He knew exactly who he was dealing with. Nipsey commanded a level of respect that didn't require shouting or threats. His name alone carried weight. It was a quick, powerful reminder that behind every joke or hot take, there's a line you don't cross, especially when family's involved. And speaking of respect, the next time Charlamagne crossed that line, it wasn't a solo artist who checked him. It was a whole group. At the peak of their bad and bougie era, Migos were untouchable, topping charts, selling out shows, and giving back to their community. During that high, the group donated a portion of their tour earnings to charity. But instead of giving them props, Charlamagne handed them the donkey of the day, saying their donation wasn't enough. That didn't sit right with Offset or Quavo. In their next interview, they decided to speak on it. Offset looked Charlamagne dead in the eye and said, "You can't give us no donkey of the day when we feeding the kids." Simple, direct, no theatrics, just truth. Charlamagne tried to explain it was just his opinion, but by that point, the audience knew he'd missed the bigger picture. The group turned a moment of mockery into one of pride, checking him for criticizing something positive. It was one of those moments where you realize sometimes the people behind the mic forget who they're talking to. And that's exactly what one hip-hop legend reminded him next. Few names in hip-hop command as much respect as Busta Rhymes. He's been in the game for decades, a powerhouse performer, lyricist, and personality. But when he stopped by the Breakfast Club, it wasn't just another interview. It was a confrontation waiting to happen. Busta didn't waste time. He looked at Charlamagne and said he'd had enough of the slick talk and backhanded comments that had been coming his way for years. He wasn't yelling or joking. He was setting the record straight. Charlamagne, visibly uncomfortable, tried to explain that it was all part of the show, but Busta wasn't buying it. He made it clear that respect is earned, not played with. That tension-filled exchange showed that not everyone sees Charlamagne's brand of honesty as harmless entertainment. For some, it crosses into personal territory, and Busta wasn't about to let that slide. In that moment, the room felt different. The energy shifted. A veteran demanded his respect, and got it. But if you thought that was intense, the next rapper didn't even need an interview to clap back. He used his music. Charlamagne's criticism doesn't stop at interviews. Sometimes it spills into entire careers. And one artist who'd had enough was Yelawolf. Over the years, Charlamagne made multiple comments about Yelawolf's identity as a white rapper, questioning his place in hip-hop and mocking his Southern style. Yelawolf stayed quiet until 2018. That's when he dropped a freestyle for TM3 that had one brutal line. Charlamagne, that's a slave name. You a house in asterisk, 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 A. The shot was personal, cutting deep into the meaning of Charlamagne's stage name and calling him out as someone who talks down on others for clout. It wasn't a tweet. It wasn't an interview. It was a lyrical punch that echoed across hip-hop circles. And fans noticed because it was one of the few times Charlamagne got checked in rhyme form. That verse reminded everyone that sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's patience, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. Charlamagne built a legacy out of speaking his mind, no matter who's in front of him. But these moments prove that even the loudest voice in the room can get humbled. From Master P's calm wisdom, to Kanye's explosive rant, to Nipsey's one-line warning, every check told a story about respect, boundaries, and knowing when to shut up. At the end of the day, Charlamagne isn't afraid of confrontation, but he's learned that the people he challenges aren't either. So, the real question is, after all these run-ins, has Charlamagne really changed his approach? Or is he just waiting for the next check to go viral? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you thought this was wild, wait till you see the time celebrities checked interviewers live on air. That one gets even crazier.